All right, Ian, tell us the blueprint to be successful.
First, study everything about my life and my work.
Okay.
Second, do the opposite. Third, don't do a panel at 2:30 in the morning when you had a midnight panel. My God.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they'll get you.
You sound like a picture Ben's internal monologue when he gets his coffee black. I've done a couple of these panels. I will probably be contrarian. At least to what the title is, but I think that saying there's a blueprint to be a successful content creator is complete and utter horse trash. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's completely. It's a mistake to think that this. We will tell you what we did, or what happened to us. That
Yeah.
this happened. But
What happened to us? How to be a creator?
Pretty much.
What have we done?
but
Probably.
Poor life decisions that were.
I would genuinely say that in general. With exception to something like Death Battle, which obviously Ben said, I have a plan to make this show. I don't think Ben had a plan from the onset to become like the hottest, YouTube channel ever, right? And I don't know. So whenever you're becoming a content creator, I think you should focus on what do I want to make and what do I want to do, and then do it, and then hope that it works out.
And then when the first one may fail, continue.
Yeah. Then it's time to try the second one, and the third one, and then the fourth one. I'd even say for Death Battle, like Death Battle was one of 100 shows on Screw Attack, and it's the one that is still here, right? So, because it was like the best high quality, and it's the one that resonated the most. And so
yeah, it was definitely the one with the widest appeal.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shows that we love doing, but yeah, that was kind of the one that really took off. And I mean, it's not like we're like 15 years ago we're like, that's it, we figured it out. No, it's constantly evolving. We're constantly changing. We're new members of the team shift the show, all the time and make it better. And yeah, so it's always evolving. So it's never like I found it, we're good. No. And then sometimes YouTube will do some dumb shit, and then you're like, well, gotta figure out how we do that. Yeah, definitely uncontroversial. Again, yeah. We've never pissed off anyone.
Yeah.
I've never received a death threat over a fictional character.
No.
No, you haven't lived. It's officially 10:30. Shall we introduce ourselves and get this going?
Yeah, go.
Ladies first, and we'll just go down the line as you drink your coffee. Sorry.
Of course.
I'm drinking green tea right now. Coffee later. Hello, I am Wild Spice. I am a VTuber. I was a face cam streamer. I turned into a VTuber in 2021. I have a lot more fun doing it. I tend to play like JRPGs. I play games with chat as well. I love some Mario Party. You can't beat me in Mecha Marathon, I'm just saying. And I'm just very chaotic and loud, and I also like to sing. So yeah, I'm mainly on Twitch, but I do try when I can to stream to YouTube as well. So I kind of try to be on both.
Oh! Yeah! There you go. What's up, y'all? I'm Chad James. I'm a part of Death Battle. I'm the voice of Boomstick. I do some other voice acting, and I have risen from the corpse of Rooster Teeth, which died last year. I was just kidding. I love the mix of like, thanks. Yeah, no, it was wild times. But yeah, we if you didn't hear, Rooster Teeth died. We formed a company. We purchased Death Battle. Shout out to Warner Bros. Discovery for letting us do that. And now we own our own show for the first time in a million years. So we're excited to be independent. Yeah, thanks. It's exciting, and I'm very happy to be here with some of my closest friends.
Don't make me cry.
Hello, everyone. I am Grayson. I am one half of Hang Time with my best friend Sean. Look at that. You got more stuff. You're just having a great day so
I am.
far. But I will be honest, I got extremely lucky and happened to be friends with him since I was 8 years old and helped him
Nepotism.
out. And he brought me on, and I've been doing this adventure for, what, 6 years now?
Yeah, 6 years.
6 or 7 years. So it's been a very, very wild time to be able to do all the incredible things that I'm able to do with my best friend and have just the ultimately greatest time ever. And I get to hang out with this guy too, who sometimes he hates me, sometimes he loves me.
Oh, sometimes you hate me, dude.
I'm Sean. I worked with Chad at Screw Attack for a long time. I formed a company under Rooster Teeth called Game Attack, which then we left Rooster Teeth as well. So we are the survivors. We rebranded Game Attack to a channel called Hang Time, which we now run. Grayson and I host it. We have a big warehouse that we stream out of. We make a lot of crazy stuff. We have Rooster Teeth friends come up and stream with us. We do a lot of big event content, and we'll talk about it later. But we stream to Twitch, and we have a great time. So there you go.
If you're not following Hang Time, please pull out your phones and go follow them on Twitch. I
It'd be
promise
really
it's
nice.
a really good time.
It'd be so cool.
He
to
didn't
see
pay me to do that. I'm genuinely saying this.
I love to
We'll
see
pay you
followers go up, so please do.
I feel a bit out of my depth up here compared to everyone else.
No.
I am. My name is Kyle, aka Kyle JCRB. I'm the host of Nitro Game Injection, a 20-plus year long-running video game music podcast. And
Wow.
All right.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Thank you. And I'm also the co-host of the Bumblecast with the illustrious Ian Flynn. He's right. It's you, buddy. It's you. Yes, we've been co-hosting the Bumblecast for about 10 years now. It's a Q&A podcast. So we have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Go for it, Ian.
And I'm Ian Flynn. I'm a freelance writer for comic books, animation, video games. You most likely know me from my extended tenure on that incredibly iconic, very blue mascot, Mega Man. And 10 years ago, I had a web forum. I did a lot of interactions with the reader base, and I thought, this isn't working out quite the way I wanted to. What if I did a podcast where we talked about just general nerdery and interacted with the fan base? And I said, Kyle, you know how to do radio shows.
Well, I mean, I guess.
You want to do a radio show with me?
When Ian Flynn comes and asks you if you want if you want to work with him, I think you'd say yes.
And he did, and he does all the work, and I just make noises out of my mouth hole, and here we are.
Dude, same. It's great. No, I'm just
We also have a fantastic team backing us up.
We
too.
do. We have
They have been amazing this weekend.
We have a small army of volunteers. Most of them are here at the show. They've been making this a fantastic MAGFest. And really, I have no idea how we would be here without any of them. So big shout out to the Bumble crew. All you guys are amazing.
Thank you. All right.
It's your panel, Sean.
It's my panel?
Is
so.
it? I have
Congratulations.
I honestly have.
Oh,
I
wow.
honestly have no idea who this panel. Who is this panel?
Okay. All right. So I think the easiest thing to do would I think we should save like the second half of the panel for Q&A, like just straight up.
Sure.
Yeah.
And just give as much advice as you can. But let's just go straight down the line. I think the easiest thing to do would think about okay, I'll just ask a question for all of us. How do you consider what to make in the space that you do? And let's hear about some of your values when it comes to how you carry yourself as a creator and how it helps facilitate the community you have.
Oh, just that?
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. I make this because this, and I instill these values in my community. I think that's probably a good way of doing it. There you go.
I'm being taken back to school when I'm always the first person that has to answer.
We can start with Ian. Go. We'll start from right to the left. Go for it, Ian.
Yay!
You traitor.
Betrayal.
What we create is basically just nonsense. Well, we wanted to do just general kind of pop culture discussion, but what we quickly found was that most people wanted to do the Q&A sessions with us because I have some small degree of legitimacy behind what I say, and a lot of people take that as word of God. I'm so sorry, Death Battle guys. And
We're fans. It's all good.
and with that, any fandom is full of very passionate, very driven individuals, and with that passion can come some heated and deep-seated feelings about various things. So what we try to do on the show, at the very least, is try to take it down a notch. This is something that we're supposed to have fun with. We're all here to have a good time, and we all just try to respect one another, even if they don't necessarily bring that respect to the doorstep. Try to take the high road and try to just be as welcoming and open as we can to everybody, because there are going to be new fans who are just coming into something you love and have no idea all the crazy crap behind it. And then there's veteran fans who want something that's kind of new. They've been here for a while. They want a new aspect to this thing that they love, and for some reason we provide that for them. So I guess it can be distilled down to how I end out every show, which is be good to yourselves, be good to each other. And I think that can be applied within the scope of just fandom and within the greater world. It's not a very deep mantra, but I do feel like it's applicable.
Do you feel like, excuse me, do you feel like the heated conversation is what draws people into your show, but the calmness and the good amicability is what keeps them around?
I have heard from a few folks that they do like how accessible and chill and open we are. I don't think it's really the negative things that bring most folks, except for when they put in the very loaded question to hear my exasperated side, but that's part of the act. Yeah. It's like, here, let's ask Ian the really awkward thing and just hear his eyes roll over the mic. But that's all part of the fun. That's kind of poking the bear. Overall, though, I think it's generally a very positive experience because people want insight. They want a direct line into the creative process. And we try to be as clear and direct and honest as we can be, NDAs and general professionalism aside.
So since this panel is about growth or growing your platform, your channel, your Twitch, your YouTube, your TikTok, however long that's around, what did you do, or why would you say your growth came from? Was it organic, or even just did you post frequency? Why do you think your show is still around and still going strong?
Well, the first major explosive growth we had was we got a shout out from the Game Apologist.
Yes.
So we doubled our numbers in a week. So thank you, Nick, for making us exist. And then our social media manager, Kazi, basically said, hey, I know how to do this and get you out there. Do you mind if I take the reins? And we're like, if you know what you're doing, yes, please.
Yes, please.
And we've gotten way more engagement and spread from there when you have someone who knows what they're doing. Mm-hmm. Putting your name out there. So
and someone who also has the time, because we've had social media and stuff for a long time, but we weren't able to really engage with it nearly as much ourselves because we were also so busy producing the show.
Of course.
So having someone there to assist with that and be basically on our team has been absolutely fantastic and has really helped us out too. So.
Gotcha. Okay, I want to segue because I've got a really great direction to go with this. So obviously they had a big breakout moment. Okay, and I'm going to venture a guess that you did something, or you made something that gave you your roots, right? Okay. Death Battle, obviously. Death Battle, It started small, but even Death Battle, it started on a platform that was already established. It had an audience that was already there. Even our boys, they had one event doubled their audience instantly. Death Battle, while your growth is obviously because of your hard work and that alone, like even the genesis of that was because it started with a head start on viewership. Game Attack started with a 30,000 subscriber head start. We are here because Screw Attack split channels, right? So I don't want to deter you, but I want you to just understand that everybody on this stage didn't just go live on Twitch. I'm assuming. I can't wait to hear your story. But
I hope it starts with, well, one day I went live on Twitch.
My point is, if you start your story with, I went live on Twitch one day and I grew my audience, I will be very upset.
No.
But when you're listening, just understand that everybody here had a head start or something. Obviously, Ian made himself, right? But
That's kind of you, but I will acknowledge I am riding the coattails of the Little Blue Hedgehog.
okay, yes.
We didn't have huge numbers starting out, but there was a installed fan base who go, we like this, you're attached to it, tell us things about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I just want you guys to have this expectation of, at the minimum, I need to do something
Yes.
that's big or be a part of something that's big. No one on this stage really just was like, here I go alone, and then grew.
Nope.
So let's hear yours. Let's go on with it right here.
Okay. So, like I said, I started face cam streaming in 2018. I did it for a bit and nothing was happening, and I was like, you know what, I'm not, because I had that mindset that I'll go live and it's gonna happen. No, it doesn't. 100% does not. I found myself getting more stressed out with streaming, and then pandemic happened, I gained weight, I didn't like how I looked on camera anymore, and I'm like, yeah, I'm done, I'm not gonna do this anymore. And then I found VTubing, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool, you can be a character, you don't have to be on camera, I don't have to get all pretty and stuff to be on camera, I can just roll out of bed and stream if I want in my pajamas, this is awesome. So I started that in 2021, and in any content creator space, it's hard to grow at first because you're a small fish in a big pond. So one big thing in the VTubing community especially is collaborating with other content creators. So there's a very big VTuber named Fillion, and she was doing a...
All right, okay. Ooh.
Fillion will every once in a while put out a call to people on Twitter like, hey, I'm doing this thing, who wants to be in it? Fill out this app, we'll reach out if you're interested. So I actually was on a Fillion stream before my big kind of thing that happened. It was for a dating show. I was on for 2 minutes. I got knocked out right away. It was fine. It was an experience. It was fun. I met a lot of people from it. So last year, she was doing a New Year, New You stream where she wanted creators to come on and do a 5-minute presentation about something. So at the time, I forget how it started. Oh, I remember how it started. I was streaming Final Fantasy IX, which is my favorite RPG of all time, and I've played it multiple times on stream because a lot of my community, they love JRPGs and things, and they like that game. There is a part in the game where Zidane, the main character, has to take an action, and it's there's a hole in a tree. And the options are put your hand in the hole, examine the hole, or do nothing. You have to put your hand in the hole. You have to, you can't go further. You can pick the other options and funny stuff happens, but you do that, all the sand spurts out, and then it just became a running joke on my streams now that we just talk about holes. My chat is now obsessed with holes. Safe for work ones, actually, not the 18+ ones.
Wait, what do you mean? No, I'm just kidding.
So it became a running joke. I sometimes do a hole of the day segment on my stream.
Hell yeah.
Where I just show them a picture of a hole from wherever. They riot if I don't show them this hole.
The graphics is amazing.
I hope someone takes just that phrase.
It won't die. Is part of the, it keeps going, which it's gonna tie into this thing. But I had a sub goal that I'm like, look, okay, y'all love hats, love holes so much. I will make a hat I will wear on stream, and instead of it saying MILF, it's gonna say, man, I love holes. It's merch.
Yeah.
It worked, yeah. I wear it sometimes. I also have another hat that I'll throw in my model. It says, do not ask me about holes. And then my friend got me the 19th hole hat. We actually did a stream at, we went to Top Golf and did a golfing stream. It was a charity goal, and we played golf because holes. Anyway, so tying back to Fillion picked me for this show, and I did a presentation about holes. I gained around 250 to 300 followers while the stream was happening about the holes. And the next time I streamed, all these people are there. I'm like, where did you all come from? And they're like, I heard you had holes. And then honestly, from there, now I keep getting people coming in, and that's the first thing they mention is the holes. And just like, I just keep seeing people coming in, growth, and I've been able to collab with more people that way. It's just, I put in and said, I'm gonna try to do this thing. Like, if you have that thought of like, I'm not gonna try to put myself out there, there's no way I'm getting picked, do it anyway, you never know. Like, I was shocked. I was one of 10 people that was picked, and like 400 or 500 people applied for this, so I was like, damn.
Yeah, sometimes it's really shocking, like what resonates with people and what resonates with your audience. You're like, I didn't think that would catch on at all.
No.
And it's like, oh, okay, this is a thing now.
Is it on Twitch, Wild Spice?
Yep. Yes.
But no, for real,
Wild
no.
Spice on Twitch. Yeah.
And that's like a really important thing that I want to talk about as well. Is like
Yeah.
when it comes to content creation, if the audience sometimes will resonate with just something, it could be the weirdest, most random thing. It could be the tree hole, or I swear to God, I'm gonna go to my grave with people being like, "Take the taco." If anybody was an Achievement Hunter fan, okay. No, legitimate. So like this happened because for those of you, if you're not familiar with Achievement Hunter, they're a wild group of dudes, which is basically the best way I can describe it is like, have you ever seen that episode of Simpsons where Bart goes to Mad TV and he expects it to be crazy and it's not, and he gets disappointed, but then the door opens and it's absolutely insane? That's the Achievement Hunter office. Like, there is fire, there are knives, there is like, it's fucking chaos. And so I popped in real quick. I don't remember why I asked them to like be a part of some video we were doing. And then Michael had just gotten some tacos, and then he's like, oh, hey man, you want a taco? And I was like, oh, I'm good actually. I'm going to lunch here in like 10 minutes, and I'm getting sushi, and I'm like, I'm good. And he just goes, okay. And then I go, fuck, like, right? Because I know him, and that okay is, you've made a grave mistake this day. So then that Friday, they're recording their podcast Off Topic, and my phone just starts blowing up. And our broadcast team is like, Michael's fucking putting you on blast right now. And I'm like, what? And so I go up and I go to crash the podcast, and all I hear is just like, yeah, I know, I offered him a taco out of the goodness of my heart, and he wouldn't take it. So like, and then other members of Achievement Hunter, man, I thought Chad was cool. Yeah, apparently not. We can't fucking trust him, you know, whatever. And he just denied it, you know. And then I'm like, dude, I like grabbed the microphone. I was like, dude, come on. Like, I was going to sushi with Miles. Like, I had lunch plans. I don't eat a lot. I didn't want to spoil it. He's like, well, you didn't have to eat it, but you should have taken it. And I'm like,
You said no to a taco.
And I'm
It's
like,
a mistake.
fuck. And so I get it all the time. I fear International Taco Day. Like my social media, it just fucking explodes.
Oh, no.
But then, like, the important thing about a content creator, like, is finding those moments. You identify those moments as stupid or random or whatever they are.
Yeah.
And like you did, is like, oh, let's run with it. The audience
Yep.
enjoys it. And then also, like, from a business standpoint, like, how do you like monetize that, right?
Yeah,
So
you have to have have you done a hole-a-thon yet? Because here's
Okay,
what.
no, so I actually have a thing. If somebody gifts 10 subs during a stream or does like 5,000 bits, I will stop the stream and I will do a slideshow presentation of 69 nice holes.
Yeah. No, that's great. Yeah,
Stop
for sure.
recording
I was gonna say
and
like
show
you
them
should.
69 holes.
I was gonna say you could do something where like every $5 tip you have to in any game insert something into a hole, right? And then what they'll do is they'll backlog you, and great, now for 2 weeks you've made $1 zillion and you're gonna be doing nothing but playing basketball games, golf games. And Grayson's
Spoilers
putting
for the
notes
next
down right now.
The hole-a-thon. I'm already sold. Let's do it.
I would watch.
Coming in March, the hole-a-thon. Stay tuned.
But yeah, I
But-
think you're exactly right. It's
Yeah.
identifying your own channel culture and then making it prominent, adapting it into your branding, your streams. If you're a streamer, probably more than YouTube, right? Is
Yeah.
monetize it.
Yep.
I cannot tell you how many times we've heard songs we hate because you know it's like.
Day.
Yeah, it's like Grayson hates the song Basket Case, so
Passion.
I love that you're like, I'm proud of it.
and so and
Right?
Green
and,
Day.
and so we tell Chat this. Chat makes fun of Grayson and says stuff like, "Who hurt you?" Grace says, "I don't know why. I just hate it." And then you put a $20 price tag on it, and then the chat grinds it into your face for years, and your channel makes like probably $5,000-$10,000 lifetime off of
A joke.
20 seconds of Grayson's hatred for Basket Case.
Yeah, also monetize hate. Big thing.
Yes.
Or
Yes.
making me talk like Dusty Rhodes, which is like the new thing that they have me do.
Yeah, every time we play a wrestling game, they're like, "Do Dusty Rhodes, Grayson, do Dusty Rhodes," and then they'll tip for it, and then he'll do it.
But even on like a VOD standpoint, like on YouTube and that kind of stuff, like it's still important to like find ways. And so like what we did was like, okay, this moment became a big thing, and so then we had this back and forth on like social and podcasts and whatever, and then it was like, oh, okay, we should like this is becoming a thing. The audience is just eating it up, and they won't leave me alone.
Yeah.
And so we made a T-shirt that says it was "Take the Taco" or whatever, and then we're like, well, we should obviously like make a video to promote the T-shirt, and so then what? But I knew like they did not officially consult me, but I knew it was going to happen. And so I get a message from Michael, and he's just like, "Hey, come here." And I'm just like, "Fuck. All right, what's up?" And so I go walking into the office, and the camera's out, and I'm like, "All right, what are we doing?" And I think Gavin's filming, and then Michael's just like, "Well, like, I just want to see if you've learned your lesson." And I go, all right. And then he's just like, he hands me a Taco Bell taco, right? And I'm like, okay, gotta take the taco. He's like, yeah, we got a shirt now. Look at the shirt, right? And I'm like, okay, cool. And then the fucking door opens, and they wheel in a cart of 100 tacos. And then he just looks at me, and he's just like, are you gonna eat them? And I'm like, Jesus. All right, cool. So I was like, okay, so in my mind, right, so it's like I'm on camera, right? So now I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, obviously I'm not going to eat 100 tacos. Also, just so you guys know, personal thing, absolutely hate eating challenges. I don't know why. It grosses me out. It freaks me out.
I feel
But you'd be surprised the amount of shit I've taken for the team for content creation. And so I'm like, all right, cool. But like, I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, where's this going to go? But then also like, how do we take this video to the next level? How do we make it more fun? And so I'm like, all right, I'll make you a deal. I will keep eating these tacos until they're gone, but why don't we take them around the whole company so that people can help me out and see who else will
Yeah.
take the taco or won't, right? And it was like, okay, great. And for me personally, I was like, great, that's going to be good content, and thank God I don't have to eat 100 tacos. But then also, then it sold the shirt, and people saw that I'm wearing the shirt, other people were in there, I'm like, and we're thinking, even to the point, like, at one point, I literally jumped in the cart of tacos while we were going across the stage, and I framed myself like this, and I was like, okay, so I was like, oh, that's a great screen grab for a thumbnail. Yeah. And so when you've been doing this for a long time, it's like you have fun, you enjoy doing the content and stuff like that. But when it comes to growth and things like that, it's really important to be mindful of those kind of things.
Yep.
So
It's kind of like improv, right? The rule of improv is to
Yep.
always say yes to
Yes.
whoever you're working with. Even if you're streaming alone, if you have an idea, you say yes to it. unless it's like gonna destroy your brand name and all that.
Yeah. Don't cancel yourself.
Yeah.
Inappropriate. Yeah.
But I'm sure even in writing, there's been times where you're like, oh, that's an idea. Okay, I'll go ahead and do it and see how it works out. I mean, when you're live, I think that's why I like being live.
Yeah.
Because when you say yes, you're trapped.
Yep.
You can't cut it out, right?
Yep.
And so we were playing Final Fantasy IX, and Sam
Yes.
was with us, and he was like, I have an idea that we have a Final Fanta C. and we were like, what? And he was like, every $50 tip we put Fanta in this trough, and then every $50 tip the chat can add any other liquid to it that they want.
Oh wow.
And we were like
Oh no.
we were like, why? And he goes, it's a funny fucking pun. And so
Love it.
and so he presents it to me live on stream, right? And so I'm like, okay. Because you have your chat being like, do it,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
do it, coward, and it's like, okay. And so it's like on stream we have this. It was like a Target plastic bin that I washed, and he poured Fanta in it, and then somebody's like, here's $50, put hot cocoa mix in it. I was like, ugh. It's like, oh, go get Rockstar energy drinks and put it in there.
my
Ugh.
God.
And so we just have this, and then the thing was, it was like every time we used a health potion in game, we had to like scoop it and then drink. And so like we'd be
That would
like,
take the paint off a car.
yeah, and that's what it smelled and tasted like. But it was like, it was monetized. It made and we were doing it like we call them as long as you want it, and it was like we'll play through all of Final Fantasy IX in one stream, like on shift rotation.
Okay, yeah.
So like not only were they getting more time on the stream, but we were drinking. I don't generally advise doing stuff like that. There's other ways to monetize, but since he put it to us on the spot, I said yes, and then it generates hype because the chat knows you don't want to do it because they saw it happen live. You being like, hey, dickhead, why would you bring this up to me in front of everybody? Because now I have to say yes. And so, but then it enhances the content because we're knee deep in a dungeon and we haven't saved in an hour and a half. Our party's low. We have no MP or ethers left.
Yep.
And guess what?
Struggle.
And now we have to use like 16 high potions during this boss fight. And so it's like,
And then Green Day starts playing. You know?
yeah. Yes, Ben.
What would you have done if it was something that you were like, no, you can't do this? How would you have treated it while also
We did say.
it's like begging us to do it?
We
Ooh,
did say
that's a good question,
we
but-
did say it has to be made for human consumption.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like,
Yeah.
Be edible.
Yeah. So there was like Frank's Red Hot
Yeah,
in there,
no rules.
and then like, but it's funny because all the different viscosities, like it kind of got like grainy and weird at the bottom, and so on camera we'd like go to potion cam, and then we'd stir it up. And you'd see like this orange, smoky swirl and stuff.
Oh no.
Yeah, but exactly.
It's brown. Why does it do that?
Yes.
If it was a suggestion that was something you absolutely were like, no, we can't do this, but the chat is like, do it.
Oh.
You respond to that when it's a live.
I think we would just never put ourselves in danger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I can answer this because
Yeah, go for it.
So, anybody know what Extra Life is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't, go look up Extra Life. They're an incredible charity that raises a lot of money for Children's Miracle Network and
Love
people.
charity.
Yeah. So, if you've ever seen a Rooster Teeth Extra Life stream, that's its own thing. And when Sean's talking about this, there. So,
And this is a big audience. We
It's-
have 200 or
yeah.
300 people watching. Chad's talking about the pressure from 10,000 people.
Yep.
Yeah. And so, first of all, be a good host to the people around you because, like Sean said, there is this there's a yes and mentality that you want to do as a streamer, but then also, like he was saying, he's like, because then you can trap them, right? And that's very, very real. Like if you're on a
Yes.
live broadcast, because you do want to do that yes and thing, and sometimes somebody will toss something out, right? And you're like, what the fuck, man? It's like, what are you doing, man? Yeah, what are you doing? I don't want to do that. I don't want to drink the blended fucking spider, but cool. Y'all have no idea the shit I've gone through. But sometimes, yeah, something will get tossed out that does like cross the line, right? That you're just like,
Yeah.
oh, like, and that could be something that's like, God, we should not put that on camera, or it
No,
could be
yeah,
something that's
yeah.
just like, I'm not personally comfortable with that, right?
Yeah.
And usually the other person doesn't do that intentionally, right? Like they might have suggested, because you're in the moment, things are happening, you're in this crazy live stream where like, I don't know, people are getting tased, shit's on fire, like whatever, and all this money's coming in for sick children, and you're like, yes! Yeah, exactly. And then usually what happens in that scenario is like, you kind of both know, like, it'll be like, you know, it's like, oh God, like sometimes there's like the eyes get big or like something. And so usually what I try and do is I'm like, okay, how can I work with that, right? So if it's like, if somebody was like, let's say, they give me this thing that I was supposed to eat, and maybe it's something like I'm allergic to or something, I just like absolutely, okay, let's be real, even if something made me throw up, I did it anyway for children, but whatever. But if it's something like that, like, then it's like, okay, how can I steer that? Okay, I'll tell you what, like, I can't eat this right now, but here's what we're gonna do. I'll tell you what, put this, go across the room, and like, throw it at me as hard as you can, you know, or like whatever. So it's like how don't
It's a
just
no, but.
don't no. Right? Yeah.
Compromise.
Yeah,
Or
that's the
compromise
it's
or
the no
something,
it's the
yeah.
no but instead of the yes and,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
how do I steer it so that it's still content? And then usually the audience, even if they're like, yes, yeah, do it, you try and find another way that's entertaining and
Yeah,
fun, and then
exactly.
that's not just a solid no, because then that's really awkward.
Yeah.
Ben has a question. What are you gonna make me do? Okay. No.
Okay, hi, I'm the other half of Death.
Yeah, hi everybody. Yo, Ben
We can't
Singer,
all-
everybody.
We can't all
Let's go.
fit on the stage.
I just want to point out, because it's been mentioned multiple times, these guys have mentioned yes and as an important part of improv.
Yep.
I think it's really important, because people talk about that all the time, but no but is also just as important. If you're doing improv, it's yes and or no but.
Yep.
No but, I don't want to eat the tacos, no, but what if we bring them around to everybody else?
Yep.
Like, it's that kind of thing. So I'm glad you mentioned that. Anyway,
Compromise.
I'm going to go now, bye.
Thank you. Ben, will you get me a water? Please get me a water. I think they have water. Do you have water? Thank you.
Except when it comes to Super Members Goku, where they say, yes, and we'll kill Goku. And
Again.
and then they say, yes, and we'll
Goku.
kill him again.
Again.
Yes, and we'll kill Goku again. But a lot of what we're talking about, it may not be an issue so much. We are on camera with multiple people. You will have the benefit of doubt to set your own rule set, right? Be understanding of what you will and won't do on stream, and it's okay to tell your audience no, of course, you know. So we're kind of talking about we have the benefit of working with others. Obviously, it's like if you were collabing with somebody, which is probably more conducive to this panel, you know,
Yeah.
I'm sure you wouldn't challenge somebody unless you knew
Yeah.
what was happening. And I guess with VTubers, it's not so much like eat this. You
No,
know,
it
yeah.
is. Yeah.
I-
Yeah. I just okay. So for like charity, because we raise money for Starlight Children's Foundation most recently. I try to do a couple charity streams a year for different things, so like St. Jude and all that. So one of the goals was like, okay, guys, if we hit like I think it was $500, I will eat Swiss cheese. I do not like cold cheese. And it was Swiss cheese because it has holes in it.
Yes.
Of
course. Yeah. Spectacular. Yeah. Spectacular.
You have a brand to uphold, right?
Uphold. Sorry.
And just
Yeah.
like that, you see how cyclical that was? Just like
So-
she knows
yeah.
holes, she knows eating cheese, and now let's just combine everything about her life right there.
Well, we have
It's
another
the
thing
whole
now
package.
too. We have eggs as well. So eggs is also a thing now. So we got eggs too. So I have to do a cooking stream for eggs or making eggs on stream now too, because that's another thing. But with the Swiss cheese, I was like, guys, I don't like cold cheese. I need my cheese hot. Well, you gotta eat the Swiss cheese. I'm like, all right, listen, I will eat the Swiss cheese if someone gets me the Swiss cheese, which my friend bought me a pound of Swiss cheese off Throne, which I didn't know you could put a pound of Swiss cheese on Throne, but
Was it
apparently
sliced?
you can. No, it's a big block. So I had to cut some off of the
You had to
edge.
cut the cheese?
Ah!
I set her up for that. Oh, so hard. That was so good.
So what ended up happening was I said, okay, look, I don't like cold cheese. I will eat the cheese on stream, but I will have to have crackers with it because I'm not just going to be able to straight eat the cheese. So I did, and then I'll do it. I didn't do it this time. I just ate. They got eating ASMR because I was eating on the mic. But the first time I had done it, I had a hand cam while I was eating crackers and cheese, so they saw I was actually eating the cheese. But there you go.
Excellent. Okay. But yeah, I didn't want this to really turn into like, what will you eat on stream for money?
No, but yeah,
I've
no.
learned a lot.
But that is a good example of like even the potions, and
Yes.
it's. I think there's a time now to where it's like streamers, at least, and obviously YouTubers, but content creators in general. It's like we're just trying to be creative in monetizing our channel culture. So it all starts with building a rapport with your audience about what you hate, what you love. Grayson loves figures, collectibles. So we did a stream where he had to open collectibles while eating hot wings.
Well, I also have a thing with dirty hands, so they had me dipping my hands into different sauces while opening up these figures. So, yeah, there's more added to that one.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
it
it
was
was great.
disgusting.
I had a blast watching.
Yeah, and it's like that's only effective because not because Grayson was like, I'm gonna dip my hands in stuff. Oh, give me money. It was Grayson loves figures, right? He's shared that passion. He'd shown them off on stream and stuff, and so being your genuine self is the base, right? And then you build the relationship with your audience who hopefully likes the authentic you, and then you can make creative content around that.
Yeah.
But, you know, so.
I think part of it too is making the monetization part of a way of empowering your viewership.
Yeah.
Yes.
Play, to be able
Yep.
to play and be a part. Yeah,
Right, because
Yep.
when we started our show, and it still is, you can send us questions in anytime through various means, but we thought, let's see if we can monetize this. We'll give priority questions. You know, $5, we'll put you at the head of the line, at the front of the queue.
Absolutely.
Maybe we'll make, hamburger money every month. And it got to the point where that's all we can do with the show because we have so much content. And we had folks who were sending us so many priority questions. It's like, well, some of these episodes are just going to be one person. What if we create like a different tier? You get your own little mini Bumblecast just to yourself at this price point. Maybe that'll weed out 2 or 3 people. That is now one of our regular segments.
Yes.
Hey,
It's like, well, would they want to be on the show? I mean, it's just us talking. It'd be hanging out online for like an hour. Maybe that appeals to somebody. Guest spots we get at least 2 or 3 a year. And then for our end of month live streams, it's like, again, just put any question in chat. But if you give us a super chat of any denomination, we'll bump you to the headline. We run out of room for questions within the first minute of
wow.
every stream.
Nice.
And it's because people want to support us for one thing, which is still mind-boggling. I deeply appreciate that. But also because they have the power to influence the show. Their dollar gets them what they want and allows them to engage with us directly in a way that they enjoy.
Yeah. Obviously, so here's a question for me. Obviously, you could raise the price and you could get a little bit of fall off, but it could help with the
Revenue.
Yeah.
The
number.
how many, the queue, excuse me. So like, how do you, is it just like, cool, we're happy with this rev amount? Or have you thought about raising prices just for the sake of the panel? Like, how do you consider that kind of great issue to have?
It's kind of a tricky issue because everybody's going through a bit of a hard time right now. We don't want to squeeze blood from a turnip. And we do appreciate any support that we
Yeah.
can get. So we try to make it accessible because we do have a number of minors who listen to the show, and their access to money is limited. And also, we don't want to, take advantage of children.
Yeah, yeah.
Or
That's
get
what
an angry
Roblox is for.
get an angry email from a parent. Why is my credit card $300?
Yeah.
They had lots of Sonic questions. What do you want? So no, we try to keep it an accessible price point. The only one we really changed was I think the guest spot where we took $20 off, and that seemed to be the magic number. It's like, oh yeah, I can make that. And it's like, yeah, all right, welcome to the show.
Yeah, yeah. I think we always say, we'll have chats that'll be like, I wish I could support, and it's like we say, do not put yourself in financial jeopardy.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
no, absolutely
Yeah.
not.
We're dudes on the internet. We're not. We are a luxury item at the minimum, or at the complete max. Like, we're not important. Like, don't do it.
Yeah.
We would love it, but don't.
Yeah.
Go pay
Yeah.
your medical bills or whatever you have
Yes.
first.
100% pay your bills first.
Yeah. Sean, we're already like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
going quick. I'm sure people have questions and stuff, but there's one thing, like, just back on track for like, I guess like, content creation and growth and like things that you should like, I'm sure there's people that are aspiring creators. And just one thing that I get asked this question a lot, usually at like panels and things, and something so I just love to say it. So one of the most important things when it comes to working in a creative industry, whether you're a writer, whether you're making a video or anything like that, find somebody that you respect and trust their opinion of,
Yes.
and show them that and listen. That goes such a long way, because when you create something, in your mind, everything is important. Even after you've made like the 5th pass, you're like, this is it. Everything that is here is integral and perfect, right? And then you're like, give that to somebody you respect and trust that's also creative, that understands this stuff, and listen, because they're going to see that with a fresh set of eyes, and they'll come across that and they'll be like, you don't need this. You don't need this. You don't need this, or whatever, right? And then you're like,
Yeah.
but I do, because actually, in this, and then you start explaining. You're like, oh, okay, but so like, because you want a set of eyes that like the fresh audiences, right? Because you want your content to be engaging, because you want it to stand out in this insane sea that is YouTube and social media and everything, right? And so, yeah, like I mean, that is literally. I'll tell anybody, any creative thing that you do, find somebody that you trust, show it to them, and then listen, because they will really help you reach a broader audience. Shout out to Ben.
Before we get started on questions, I'd just like to give a broad sweeping statement about what equipment do I need, or what do I need to stream from a PC? Let me tell you right now, I stream out of a 3,000-foot hangar I got cameras that cost $10,000. Like, I got black magic boards that are stupid, right? If Grayson and I streamed from a 5x5 closet with a webcam, I am wholly convinced we would make the exact same amount of money.
Yep.
There is, like, I always think of Moist Critical. Moist Critical looks like he streams on a webcam from 1993. Like,
The frame rate's a little higher, but yeah.
He sits there on a blurry ass webcam, but he makes slamming content. He covers topical things. He is a clever content creator. He's got a unique look. His silhouette is, you know it's him instantly. Just if you have any questions about like equipment and that stuff, I'm sure there's VTuber questions that you can ask, but you need a webcam and you need what you care about, whether it's video games or in your kitchen, and you need an internet connection.
Holes. We're holes.
Yeah, or holes.
You need a mouth hole.
Everyone, it was just one thing we all have in common. Everyone on the stage has holes. So like, I started streaming from a PS4, like with its built-in streaming stuff, and like I was already on my way to quitting my job at Screw Attack whenever that happened. It was a PS4. I didn't have a PC or anything. All that matters is you start and you care about what you're doing. I'm telling you, I spent my life savings on a building. You don't need it. You just need a camera and an internet connection and what you care about. So just know that. I know all of you are going to leave thinking you need to go spend $1 zillion. You need a $50 used Logitech webcam and internet. That's it. All right, let's open this thing up.
By the way, coincidentally, there's a building for sale.
Hopefully not.
All right, question. So, this for panels. Sometimes it gets confusing when everyone just like raises their hand. Then I feel really bad if we like call on somebody. And they're like, and I was like, oh no, actually not you. So if you have something interesting or things that we can call upon, then that's great. But if not, a hand suffices. But usually like it's like hold up a beanie or hold up a thing, so it's easier to call upon people. But yeah, if you have a question, go ahead. Holy shit, I've never had this happen before. There we go, that guy. All right.
Yes.
That's a good question.
Yeah, that is a good question.
I can say that we have talked about games that we've been excited for. You know, it's like, oh man, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth's coming out. I'd give anything to play that. And we'll sit down and we'll get half viewership, and we'll make half the money. And it fucking sucks. I'll tell you. I wish I could be a streamer that was entertaining enough to just be like, I love this game. I'm going to sit here and play it. I can tell you what has worked for us. In terms of new games, it's what we have done is we've said, hey, we're going to come in and play this weekend if you hit a goal. And so, like, when Final Fantasy 16 came out, we said, like a month before, like the month it was coming out, we were like, hey, if we hit this goal in a couple of months after you all have played it and you know it, we'll just come up here and spend the weekend. We won't worry about money or support, and we'll just play the whole thing, and we'll sleep up here, and we'll binge it, because that's what we would love to do as friends, right? So we try to monetize loving games. It doesn't happen as good as the punishment stuff. But in terms of one of the other things we do is we do like the subathons, or the as long as you want it. Like, we've always wanted to play through all of the Lego games, or we thought it'd be really fun to play through all the Disney games, like Aladdin or the PlayStation 2 games. And so we're going to actually, like next week, we're going to monetize a subathon where we play through all the games like nonstop to see how long we can go. Nice. So in terms of like those, here's $20 for something good to happen to you, no. But there are ways you can monetize, like you can set goals for things you want to do, or you can set goals for giveaways for your chat. That's also like a really fun thing to do. I would love anything you have to say. I need tips on this one.
Yeah, no, I agree with what you said. I know sometimes for me though, what I do is like because my content, half of it is like me being like, oh God, I hate this so much.
Yeah.
and then the other half is me doing something I like, so I kind of balance it that way. So I'm like, we kind of start the stream with all that, and then we go into like the fun, like more, here's what I actually want to do part of the stream. And people still hang. It depends what it is. Like, I know, like, for example, Final Fantasy IX, when I play that, I have a lot of people show up for that because it's kind of niche and it's a good game. So it really depends. But like, I love that game so much. I would play that multiple times if I could.
I think part of it too is, if you have the opportunity to juxtapose the two, if you have something that comes in and you're like, thank you, and then something that comes in and goes, thank you, yes, show even more enthusiasm for what it is you enjoy, because if the audience is getting a bigger reaction out of that, they'll be more inclined to give you the good stuff. But you, at the same time, play towards the negative, because that's what the easy laugh is for. Yeah. So mitigate how much you respond to it, and reward the audience for rewarding you.
Yes. And are we actually miserable? Like, I mean, no, I don't want to drink the potion. Like, it puts pressure on me. It puts pressure on me. But like,
I don't want to.
it's like I would do that over anything else in the world, right? So even when I say it's like, oh, it's kind of torturous, it's like, as opposed to not doing my dream job, you know. But we also did a thing one time, like we played Sonic Generations, which has good writing, and then I love that you're just covering your ass.
That was a good emphasis.
Which half? Because I only wrote half of it.
And what's that?
I only wrote half of it. Which half?
Which half did you write?
Which one did you like? We got a new death battle going on right now. Which one?
Well, we like the bigger quality half, which was obviously. Can you tell us who you wrote better than?
It was Shadow Generations, obviously.
Gotcha. But we did we had if you tip an even number, it'll push our bar to where we play Sonic. If you tip negative numbers, it'll make us play it might have been like Sonic and the Black Knight, which the writing was trash. Were you on that one?
That's a spicy topic.
I'm just playing. I'm just kidding.
It's like you took a gamble on that one.
Gameplay maybe, but
I can't tell you what the story was about because I don't remember.
This is a lesson about networking and what not to do. No, I'm just kidding.
And a lesson on how to play to the negativity.
But it was like you can push us this way for the Black Knight game, which has like shoddy Wii controls, or you can push us towards Sonic Generations, which is like obviously like the best contemporary Sonic game. So like that's a good way of like monetizing like the positive, right? Then the chat fights each other, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So what you were saying is exactly like dead on. It's like usually people when they're watching, they want their reaction, right?
Yep.
And usually, fuck, I have to do this thing, whatever.
Yeah,
It's a big reaction, right? So it's like finding those ways, and I'll tell you, I was running a lot of extra live streams and stuff. It's so funny. I would host with Jack, Katie, and Chelsea, and Katie has the sweetest, most kind, amazing heart, and she's always like, we have to do all these like punishment things. Like, what if we had like a donation that was like a love donation and instead of, right, and it was like, and then, a good thing can happen. Like we could bring in a puppy or like, we could.
Chat's like, shut up, Katie!
or like we could get a shoulder massage and I just go, oh, Katie, I love your heart. Like, but like, we'll put it on there. But like, you look at it and it's like, the bad shit. I'm getting blasted by paintballs, getting hit in the groin, like eating all this stuff, and then every now and then it's like, oh, you can look at a puppy, like, right? but so there is a truth that like that because that stuff inherently like creates a bigger reaction. Like there is more weight to that. But when it comes to like content creation, if you want to be like, I don't want to just make that my whole shtick, right?
Yeah.
So it's reactions, but then it's also like the audience wants to play. They want to feel a part of things, right? And so if you want to have like a way to incentivize like more positive stuff, like he was saying with the negative or the positive, like the two different things, because you get your audience into game with each other. I saw my friend of mine, Nathan Barnett, was doing a D&D stream, and it was like, he had it listed on the side. Bits would do negative things, like make the boss have more health, or like had to roll for damage, like blah blah blah. But then subs would be positive things. So like like they get rid of this thing, or like you get an extra plus this to your roll, or like all that stuff. And then it was so fun to watch because, of course, it started with people being like, I'm gonna mess him up, right? Whatever. But then there was like champions in the audience that were just like, no, like we're gonna give him the extra stuff to the rolls to counteract that. And then they're playing with each other. And so like that's another way that you can kind of like steer that to not just be like do all the crazy bad shit.
When you're collabing, a lot of streamers, at least in my experience, it's like a lot of streamers are scared to talk about money on each other's channels when you're collabing. I'm not. So when you collab, it's a really good way of doing like positive while hurting the other streamer, right? But it's positive for you, right? So that's like a good way. Like I'll collab with Matt Bragg. We did like we play every Mario Kart in order, but like if you tip on Matt's channel, it resets his races. If you tip on my channel, it resets my races. We both we both did spectacular, right? And like when you're collabing, I love to bring up the other chat, and whenever Matt gets 100 gifted subs, I'm like, oh man, like that person just bombed the shit out of you. You fucking suck, Matt. Like, go to hell, idiot. And then like, but he just made like $400, right? But like collabs are awesome if you can trust the person you're collabing with. Talk beforehand. Be like, hey, are you okay with me talking about like tips on your stream or anything that appears in your chat? Because I want you to know, like, you can talk about anything that happens in my chat. Please celebrate it like it's your own channel. Yeah, that's a good way of
Agreed
being
with that,
positive.
100%.
Nice. Got underground, baby.
I swear to God.
Ash right there. Or, sorry, Terry. Excuse me. Yeah, you got it. Yep.
One of the important things that me and my partner actually have been concerned about when it comes to content creation is variety versus consistency. Because for me, I want to get game streaming and playing like CS2, Fortnite, Train Simulator,
Yeah.
and those are very disparate audiences.
Yes.
Yep.
And she wants to do like disco streaming, she wants to do cooking streaming, she wants to do sometimes games, and she wants to draw as well.
But stuff where she's up and about. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, what's a good way to find like the middle ground in that sort of variety versus consistency?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you guys want to hit the live streaming side, I'll hit YouTube.
Yeah, right.
We play video games. We've done a 7,500-mile road trip around the country. We've done subathons. We've done cooking streams. We have not grown. It's tough, right? I think that if I was starting out, I would have picked a niche that I thought, to the best of my ability, I
Yeah.
would be happy with my entire life, right? I would, if you love Train Conductor Simulator or Train Simulator, and like you could play that forever, every year, get your train outfit.
Yeah, there you go. Let's
Choo
go.
choo.
Get your whistle, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You boot up that train simulator, you make your stream as fun as it can be for train sims, and you train sim your heart out to anybody that would watch it, and you become the train simulator content creator.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, look at that. There's your name right
There
there.
you
Yeah.
Yeah. Your partner,
I am a certified conductor as of December.
Oh wow!
yeah.
And you still want to simulate it. Incredible.
Well, clearly he conducts himself well.
Nice. Your partner, like, if anything she said or they say, I would, and maybe a little bit of, cut that out. No, like,
Yeah.
focus on the cooking, focus on the discoing. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's a good adjacent, space. I think it's like if they're up and around, if they're doing stuff in a room that's not gaming, they're an IRL streamer.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
The one thing I would say is I lost it. Oh no, I'm gonna die.
Don't die.
But be an authority
Yeah.
and just make sure that you can see yourself doing it long term, so you don't
Yeah.
burn yourself out on it.
Yeah.
And I believe we are just about at time.
All right, one more question. We're gonna bug them.
Bug
Glove right there.
Glove.
Hello.
Glove. No.
Hypothetically, if you woke up tomorrow and no one knew who you were, your channel was gone, and you had to start over.
Oh no.
What do you see yourself doing? Just if you want to start your content career again, start from scratch.
Oh, that's a good
what do
question.
you think, what can both of you avoid?
Oh,
Wow.
all right.
Dang.
I got my answer. I got my answer, and it's fast.
Go ahead.
I'd be a TikTok political commentator.
Hey.
Like
Love it.
instantly.
Love
instantly.
that. That's awesome.
Love that you chose something with no controversy.
Yeah, no. But I will say, and controversy would grow me. Yeah, it would eat my soul, and I would get death threats. But it would grow me, and it would grow me fast.
Yeah, I have one too.
Unfortunately.
And I've got a guaranteed market for 4 years. So
There you go.
not a good one, but go for it, Jeff.
Oh man, if I was just gonna make content off the cuff now,
Breath rattle.
oh my god, yeah. No, I really wish that we were doing live streams back in the day, but we were we were working for Screw Attack. I really wish that I had done that personally as well. So I'll stream a little bit on the side and stuff, but I really do, because my favorite thing in the world is this right here, is getting to have a platform to entertain, and especially what I love about streaming is that real-time feedback. The same way
Yeah.
somebody can make a thing, I can make a joke about it, I can do a callback, or we can participate, I can answer a question. What you guys say can inspire me to think of a thing to then be entertaining, and it makes people happy, and I love that. So that's probably what I would do. If I wasn't doing Death Battle or anything like that, I would probably live stream. And I will say, I love Death Battle so much, and it's so great. So much work goes into that. Also, huge shout out. We have some people from the Death Battle team that make this happen right here as well. That's DJ, Kean, and Jacob. They do so much work. But it's a lot. And it's in this,
Yeah.
and so even when we have our podcast is still focused on we need to be talking about these characters and how they fight. And I love that because I'm a nerd and it's super fun. But I do miss the just not having that box, right? And just to be able to just be I can go live and I can just entertain
Yep.
and be fun and just joke around and shoot the shit with my friends.
You reminded me I was going to tell Terry.
Okay.
Terry, whatever you plan to do, and this for everybody, whatever you plan to do, you should go into it with the mindset of, am I ready to do this for an indefinite amount of time for $0?
Yes. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I ready? Am I it took Ninja 8 years being the best player at the best game in the world during the biggest Twitch boom of all time, after streaming with Drake to be who he was.
Yeah.
You should be completely prepared to do this for your entire life and make $0.
Yes.
And go at that with that kind of passion and mentality. Because like I said, all of us had a break.
Yep.
We had a
Yeah.
head start. So sorry. Thank you, Chad, for reminding me. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Yeah, no, I agree with that too. Also, don't go in with the mindset of like that. Like, I'm gonna make money right away. No, you're not. Also, yeah, like, because you have people who jump in. They're like, I'm gonna jump in full time and make content. No, make sure you have a job. Make sure you have money. Because if you're jumping in not making anything, you're screwed if it doesn't take off. So make sure you have a backup plan. Yeah.
Partner is concerned about it, like,
Yeah.
oh, I can monetize this, and then I'm not making money. See,
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's going to take time. You got to build up an audience first. Then they will see you. It's not going to happen right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a good assumption. To just assume that it's $0 forever until it happens.
Yep.
It's very healthy to consider it that way.
I'll have $0 and a full scale on so.
Yeah. Well, Ian and I started the podcast basically because we just wanted to have fun and talk to each other, and so that's why we pretty much did that. We were like, if we could do this forever, just like this, it would be great. So, and the fact that it resonates with people and people support us, I think is what really also helps keep us motivated to keep going with it too.
All right, we are way over time.
Yep.
Thank you very much for coming out and seeing us, for all your wonderful support.